I know what y'all thinking looking at the title, but hear me out, bruh. My Hero Academia's universe is a terrible universe to be born in. I'll take almost any other anime. Look, in Dragon Ball Z, if the world's gonna get destroyed, I'm gonna be vaporized instantly. I don't even have to feel the pain. It's done. Yeah, you can say, oh, you about Death Note, you gotta deal with light. I'm like, bruh, I do not care. You know why? Because light, there's two conditions to survive, Kira. Be a good person, and mind your own goddamn business. As long as you're not fucking looking for Kira, you should be fine as long as you're a good person. Now, My Hero Academia, you can be born with a goddamn bottle cap toes. You can be born with a water bottle for a head. There is so much ridiculous things that can happen in My Hero. Let's go over why My Hero Academia universe is ass. There's a few things I want to talk about. First things first, I don't know what time frame it is, but I know My Hero Academia is supposed to be somewhere in the future. And you would think, oh, okay, technology went fast, all this crazy stuff. Nope. Quirks done made technology kind of stagnate from what I understand. So we just kind of have the same thing. We have smartphones and stuff. The technology we have is for people with quirks, which granted, I think 80% of people do, but don't mean your quirk is useful, so there's that. And then, speaking of quirk being useless, the genetic lottery in My Hero's world is a cruel game, bruh. You pretty much want a quirk that gives you the equivalent of white privilege. That's the best way to describe this shit. You want to get a quirk that will allow you to get some crazy abilities or something. Like, you want to be blessed. You want someone, if you want to get an example, you want Bakugo's quirk. You want somebody like Bakugo's quirk, you want one for all for one, maybe something like that. If you're branded, and your quirk can end up literally being, just having you seen as a villain. Like, if you're Shigaraki and you're born with something like Decay, what do you do with that? Like, what can, like, people are gonna look at you like you're just a villain, you're dangerous as hell. You can be doing construction with that quirk, but that's a dangerous ass quirk to have, and you really can't use it as a hero because it would instantly kill people. Like, your quirk can literally decide if you're gonna be a hero or a villain, or you just don't use it. On top of that, there's people like Monoma. Don't get me wrong, Monoma is the GOAT. I love that character, bruh. Monoma is so fucking hilarious. He is such a dick. But if I had to be in the wrath, if I had to deal with his wrath, I would hate my life. Could you imagine having Monetta's quirk and constantly have Monoma looming over you, shitting on you? And then when you try to fight him, he can steal your quirk. Yeah, that will seem crazy, but he's really smart, so he can handle it well. Like, if you don't remember when he freaking grabbed Bakugo's quirk and then blew him up with it, and Bakugo tried to hit him back, but then he stole Kirishima's quirk to counter it. I'm like, that is a motherfucker that you don't want to fuck with, because he will fuck you up if you have a shitty quirk. And then another thing is quirk marriages. Imagine you got a girl you like, you know, she got over the fact that you got a fucking bottle for a head. You're like, hey, y'all, you know, y'all deciding, y'all planning y'all life. Next thing you know, you find out your parents have married you off to someone else that probably hates that she has to marry a guy with a bottle for a head. But, or a guy with bottle cap toes, because now it's a good chance your kid's gonna have bottle cap toes. But, that's the way the cookie fucking crumbled. Some shit like that can go down at any moment. And then if you're a heteromorph, you got an all bag. Because heteromorph, your quirks pretty much suck. I don't know what's considered one fully, because I don't know if Froppy or Mina count as that. Because Mina's quirk is just acid, but her whole body changed. I don't think she counts. Maybe Froppy does. But heteromorph, there's like limits to how far they go in terms of what they look, but their quirks ass. The only good thing about it is people like Aizawa can't turn their quirks off because it's just part of their body. But I think that is one of the worst things, because there's also racism against the heteromorphs too. And then, one of the worst things, if you don't have a license, if you don't have a hero license, you cannot use your quirk. So you can be born with some crazy ability. What if you have ability that's for good? You could have the ability to heal people in any way. What if you have the ability to just create a cloud of smoke, and anybody within the cloud of smoke gets healed? Or they have, you know, it just gives them air, so if they struggling breathing or something like that. You have a helpful ass quirk. Legally, in My Hero Academia's world, if you use that on somebody and you're not a hero, you would theoretically get in trouble for that, even though you're doing a good thing. Fucked up situation. I get why I guess they did this, because you don't want quirks getting out of hand. Like, someone like Bakugo using their quirk wrong can just be destroying cities by mistakes. But Come on now. You telling me I have a genetic ability I just can't use from birth? But and other people can. How Snipe allowed to use a gun? I don't even know what his quirk is, but Snipe's allowed to use a fucking gun and shoot villains even though we ain't supposed to kill them. That boy's trying. He was going for the kill on Shigaraki though. I ain't gonna lie. But on top of that, you can still be born as a normal person. My lord, that might be a better case scenario than the alternative. I would rather personally be born as a normal person than be born as someone that's 2 foot tall. Because like I said, genetic lottery sucks. I'd rather be born as a normal person than be born 2 foot tall with freaking with sausage hands. I don't want that. I don't want that. Do you really want 2 dildos for arms? No, I don't want none of that shit, bro. Just give me my normal human hands and let me live a life as a civilian and hope I don't get decayed. That's as good as it gets. But then at that point, you're relying on the heroes, I guess. And then you have villains with the destructive power that they have. If you're a civilian, you're fucked. If you're a hero, to some degree, you're fucked, depending on who it is. You have your #1 hero in the world is fire-based powers, and as far as we know, have the strongest flames of anybody. We have a villain whose fire is so strong, it can burn the guy that is damn near immune to fire. Do you know how dangerous that is of an ability? Being anywhere within radius of Dobby should make your goddamn lungs burn. It should feel like Teen Titans when they went to goddamn Tamaran and they throat caught fire because the air is fire, bro. The air is literally fire with Dobby. And then you have people like Shigaraki that can touch the ground and destroy an entire city just off of touching the damn floor. You can say, oh, just put him in the air. Everybody ain't got the ability to just throw his ass in the air. And then you got people genetically, you freaking getting GMO'd worked on them. You got Gigantomachia, literally a big unstoppable motherfucker with multiple quirks. There is too much things to deal with in the world of My Hero. And if you want to live there, be my guest, because the future don't look into right. Pretty much if you got a bad quirk, you're just fucked. The whole show, the whole story, the whole world is really just, what are you born with and what can you do with what you're born with for the most part? Unless you're Deku and you get all for one because that was given to you and all of that. But I digress. I still think right now, especially when it comes to the main shonen, but even in general, one of the worst shows to live in my opinion. There is worse, I guess. I guess you could say Tokyo Ghoul and stuff like that. But in the realm of like typical like battle shonen, I'd rather be in almost anything else. I can't think of another show I'd rather not. I can't think of another show. I can't think of another show that was worse than My Hero for me. But that's all I'm going to say right now. Let me know if y'all agree which world y'all want to be in. Other than that, True Kingston, and I'm out.